XRP is at 50 cents. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. While you're here, smash those likes and hit that follow button. It's a free and great way to support the channel, so you might as well just do it. But we got some XRP and other digital asset news that I think is very interesting that you might want to stick around. All right, moving on. We got the XRPL, also known as the XRP scan. Look at this. We got the clawback feature is at 94%. Look at that. And it starts in 3 days. Of course, that is to allow clawback features for XRP and anything on the XRPL. Whereas if something happens that's illegal or illicit, any federal regulatory body can claw back that feature and have the funds back into its original account. We got passive income that's at 85.71% concisive. That's actually going to be done in 8 days. That allows you to be your own banking system. And the newest feature that's going to be coming into play is the XRP fees. Now, what is the XRP fees, you ask? Let's click on it and look at it together. The XRP fees is just simplifies transactions cost calculations to use XRP directly rather than calculating indirectly in fee units and translating the results of XRP. Updates all instances of fee units in the protocol and ledger data to be drops of XRP instead. This includes updates to the fee voting protocol to use drops of XRP. This updates the fee setting ledger entry type to replaces. Here's what it replaces. So now there's going to be a change that allows us to use drops, kind of like how Bitcoin uses Satoshis. We are getting very close to more innovative ways to use XRP. Why are we changing it to drops? Are we changing it to drops instead of units? Because XRP is going to make that massive breakout that's so right around the corner for utility. It's very ironic that all of this stuff is happening the moment clawback features are going to be enabled, as well as AMM features are going to be available. Or could it be because of Ripple's director of head product marketing made this announcement over on LinkedIn? We're excited to wrap up January with fresh updates from Ripple. I'll pin this in 2 simple categories: building and growing. It has been a very long time since anybody from the Ripple board or anybody from the Ripple staff has said something about them growing. What is it? Back in 2016, 2017, so there used to be a time where anytime they mention something, the price of XRP goes up. But then again, one would then argue and say, okay, well, why does Ripple have something to do with XRP? Or why does XRP have something to do with Ripple? Here's the thing. Just because a company mentions some type of asset, that does not mean it is a security. And the judge already ruled and said XRP is not a security. Point, hence right here, XRP is not a security by what Ripple just said and by what the judge just said. XRP will be the oil to keep the financial system lubricated. Oil is very expensive. XRP, once used for utility, will eventually be very expensive. Oil is something that everyone needs. Oil can be used in just pretty much about anything, any type of machinery. Without oil in vehicles, without oil in other machines, those machines won't work. And that's something that's going to happen for XRP in the future, right? Without that oil, without that XRP, cross-border payments will not work. CBDCs being utilized back and forth will not work. So it's very interesting that now Ripple is now going to be make it an announcement. So the announcement goes off by saying, building 90% of our business is outside the U.S. right? And why is that? It's because the SEC does not want innovation to happen. When, I'm not going to say his name, came into office, he said he was tech neutral. But the moment that he came into office, he gunned it straight for crypto. He gunned it straight for XRP and Ripple. So I don't necessarily think that the SEC is not necessarily tech neutral, but it's kind of more of their bias because they want to keep their friends in business for a long time. But what they fail to understand is that as technology improves, we as a human body have to improve too. Now, what sense does that make to continue to stifle innovation, to continue to have the U.S. left behind, right? Because just like Rosie Rare said, the train has left the station. But even though the train has left the station, that still doesn't mean that there's not going to be stops every once in a while to let people get back on the train and have that opportunity. So I can guarantee you that something big is happening, and we're going to continue to talk about it. Building 90% of our businesses is outside the United States after being relatively quiet for the past 3 years. The 3 years includes where the SEC charged Ripple with trying to market XRP as a security. 3 years in the U.S. for Ripple payments. We're geared to announce new product updates powered by our money transmitting license, MTLs, that cover the majority of the U.S. states. So, what do we know about their money transmitter license? Well, we know National Bank of Georgia selects Ripple as tech partner for CBDC pilot. And then we also know that XRP is not a security. Recently, that the first digital dirham for cross-border payments goes through. Now, what's so ironic and interesting about this that people are failing to understand is that no matter what CBDC or cross-border payment goes through, any type of payment platform is going to touch the XRPL. Why is it going to touch the XRPL? Well, Project mBridge reaches a milestone and utilizes the digital dirham cross-border settlement. Who is taking part of the mBridge project? You would see that it's the Bank of International Settlements. See, Project mBridge experimenting with multiple CBDC platforms for cross-border payments. Project mBridge experiments with multiple central bank digital currencies, common platform for wholesale cross-border payments. It seeks to solve some of the key inefficiencies of cross-border payments, such as high cost, low speed, transparency, and operational complexities. And at the same time, the project aims to safeguard currency sovereignty and monetary and financial stability for each participating jurisdiction, guided by the principles of do no harm. And then you go off by seeing DLT, Distributed Ledger Technology. Sounds familiar? Also, the banks, Hong Kong, Monetary Authority, Central Bank of the UAE, Digital Currency Institute of the People's Bank of China, and Bank of Thailand. Does that not sound familiar? Well, if it doesn't, look at the rest of the members. All of these members right here, the observing members, are all somewhat connected. And guess who they're connected to? Boom. Ripple. Ripple joins BIS Task Force for Cross-Border Payments. This is back in August of 2023. And it says here right here, as part of the Cross-Border Payments Interoperability and Extension Task Force, Ripple will work with other organizations, including MasterCard and SWIFT, in fulfilling BIS goal to enhance cross-border payments and meet the quantitative targets for cross-border payments endorsed by the G20. It's literally been right here this whole time. And folks, if you asked 5 random people just in passing, whether you're going to the store, whether you're going to get something to eat, whether you're going to get gas, if they know Bitcoin, they're going to say yes. But if you ask them if they know what XRP is, they're probably not going to know. Some may know, but there's a 35 to 50% chance that those people that you ask if they know what XRP is, that they're going to say no. That is how early we are in at this moment. We are in super early. But when this announcement comes of about building and growing and about new product updates powered by their money transmitter license starts kicking into effect, and just like how asset firms are starting to do ads for a Bitcoin spot ETF, what do you think is going to happen when it starts ramping up for XRP? What do you think is going to happen? Because this asset has been sleeping for 5 to 7, maybe 8 years. And once it finally awakes, what do you think is going to happen? Anytime there's a sleeping giant that finally gets awoken from its sleep, it's hungry, it's ready to wreak havoc, and people will notice it. Moving on. Now, as far as those partnerships, and for those who be like, well, how is that connected? Well, as you can see right here, it says, as part of the cross-border payments interoperability and extension task force, Ripple will work with other organizations. These are these other organizations. You got Ripple partner with Finestra to help utilize cross-border payments. There's Finestra Fusion Total Messaging. There's RippleNet. Here's the banks. And here's the MasterCard that they were referring to. MasterCard cross-border services via Total Fusion Messaging. Finestra Fusion Total Messaging. MasterCard. Right here. It's right here. Literally right here. Here's my mouse. Here's Finestra. Here's MasterCard. And then here's Finestra right here. And when you use Finestra, you're going to be using RippleNet. And when you use RippleNet, you're going to be using the XRPL as far as XRP. And then here's the interoperability that it was talking about. It's right here, folks. There is no reason why we should be in the sense for XRP. There is literally no reason. None. But because of the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and because of the Ripple and SEC lawsuit that's continuously being drug on, you can see what's happening, right? You can see it, right? Because by math, by just basic math, when Bitcoin was at 20,000, XRP was at $3.85. XRP is still at the current price that it's at now, which is fine. But since Bitcoin is at 43,208, I believe, ideally, if we're just do just basic math, and like I said, it's just the simplest of math, the price that Bitcoin is at right now, XRP should be $7.70, if not $8. I'm just saying. All right, moving on. We got some Bitcoin news in play, right? We are so close to the Bitcoin halving. A lot of stuff is going on. One analyst believes that after the Bitcoin halving, we're going to be at 120,000 per Bitcoin, which would be very interesting. However, of course, with the halving coming up, there is a lot of FUD. And here's another one. Genesis seeks approval to sell 1.6 billion in Bitcoin. Nearly 1.4 billion of Genesis assets were held in grayscale. And it says here, bankrupt crypto lender Genesis filed a motion Friday asking U.S. judge to approve the sale of over 1.6 billion BTC, Ether, and ETH Classic held in Grayscale's trust. If the motion is approved, the market could see yet another significant chunk of selling pressure on Bitcoin. FTX sold over 1 billion worth of GPC holdings that conceded, with the price dropping to 39,000 from 49,000. Wow. So now that we have Genesis is seeking approval, let It's not. Now that Genesis is seeking approval, we got Mt. Gox confirms creditors Bitcoin should be repayments by October 2024. And we got Celsius now is about to distribute about $3 billion worth of crypto, mainly Bitcoin. And we have the U.S. that's letting us know that they're going to sell $130 million in Bitcoin. Blink to the Silk Road. There is a lot of selling happening just by FTX selling that made Bitcoin drop from 39,000 to 49,000. Literally. Now, I'm not saying that market is going to drop, but what I am saying is the selling pressure is real before we get to the Bitcoin halving. I don't know if Bitcoin is going to continue to maintain its pace, but what I will say is that anytime stuff like this happens, this is a signal that we're getting closer and closer and closer to that bull market, right? You got companies coming out that they've been quiet for over 3 years. You got the first transactions going on when it comes to the Enbridge connectivity for the digital dirham cross-border payments. Then you got FUD coming out for uncertainty and doubt, because this is what it is. There's so many articles saying that everybody's going to sell their Bitcoin to cause Bitcoin to drop. Folks, we are so close. All right, everybody, that'll do it for me. It looks like we have the markets. Looks like it's starting to pick back up. We got Bitcoin at 43,000, Ethereum at 2,327, XRP at 50 cents. Looks like the market is trying to pick back up. But how long will the market continue to pick up and be green? Or do you think we're going to be in the red? All right, y'all, that'll do it for me. Please make sure you hit the like and the follow button. It's a free encouragement to support the channel. I will see you and everybody else on the next one. Peace.